get outside your comfort zone, right? Try new things, right? Really try that support, right? So I really want to take in consideration because, you don't want to be stagnant, right? You don't want to be stagnant. You don't want to be stuck. You know what I mean? Necessarily not saying that's, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? People like have their own comfort levels, right? But I really want you to understand that we can always We can always improve, right? So in regards to a message I really want to be able to provide for you is that most of the growth isn't just that's going to be found in that comfort zone, right? It's going to be found in the moments of out of that comfort zone, right? So when you have that courage, when you have that confidence, right? When you have that belief in yourself, right? When you know what I mean, like you're trying your best and you put in that effort, that's where the confidence, you know what I mean, lies, right? So I really want to take that in consideration, right? So every time that you step away from, like I said, a challenge, you step away from an opportunity to even build that confidence, right? So like I said, try your best to stop avoiding, you know what I mean, these things. For instance, if you see someone that you like, remember back in the days when I used to work, at an after-school program, I was doing a mindset activity program that I developed, and I asked the kids, like, you know what I mean? Like, you see someone that you like, you have a little crush, whatever, right? Why are you self-sabotaging yourself? Why are you throwing yourself down, right? Why you know what I mean? Why are you having these negative thoughts? Why are you running with that, right? Build yourself up, believe in yourself, go say hi, you feel me? Quick little interaction, right? I mean, people that have this repetition, people that believe in themselves, people that have that confidence, people that do the inner work, right? People that really love themselves, right? People that came from a loving home, etc., right? They have more of these attributes, right? But some of us that came from a dysfunctional home, right? Jealousy, animosity, negative thinking, right? You know what I mean? Manipulation. We can feel me, survival mode. We trying to just, you know what I mean, get what we can out here. Like, there's a lot of things going on the back end, right? But I really want us to understand that we got to get outside of our comfort zone. We have to be able to look at ourselves, accept ourselves, right? Do what's beneficial for ourselves, right? In a healthy way. Seek the support, right? But like I said, avoidance is not going to be beneficial for us, right? But we need to be able to, like I said, have that self-belief, develop that confidence to be able to get the life that we want by putting in that work, right? So let's talk about some practical reframing, right? So like I said, our mindset, right? So you don't need to feel, like I said, fearless to be able to move forward, right? Nobody asking you to be like a superhero, right? Just, you know what I mean? Build, understand where you're at and understand that you're able to improve, right? Little steps at a time, right? Good things take what? They take time. Right? So you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have the perfect motivation to take the action, right? Progress begins to look at yourself and be able to, like I said, say, I could take action. I could do this. I believe in myself, right? I can, you know what I mean? I could try this thing out, right? So you don't need to, like I said, be ready to, have this whole journey that's figured out. You just need to be able to have enough courage to say, listen, I'm going to put the effort in. You know what I mean? I'm going to take action. I'm going to try my best, right? And I'm just, you know what I mean? Try my best to keep going, you know what I mean? Because I'm going to be real with you, right? Because just because you do something one time, right, is not going to eliminate your problem, right? Just because you go 2 times, it ain't going to eliminate your problem, right? You have to continuously keep working on yourself. You got to continuously keep putting in that effort, keep trying. And then before you know it, you're going to get comfortable. And you're going to look at yourself a couple years back, a couple months back, and be like, wow, I was in a whole different, state of